And this is the lesson using formulas part 1. أهلا بكم في Simple Math for You، وهذا الدرس عن استخدام الصيغ. الجزء الأول. Using formulas objective. Our objective is to solve equations for specific variables, and then the second objective will be converting units of measures. We have many formulas in physics and chemistry. In math, we have area formula, we have density formula, speed, velocity, and many more. So we need to be careful when we are solving for one of the parameters, one of the variables. A formula or equation that involves several variables is called a literal equations. It includes letters, we can say that, we can remember that. So we have to be careful when we are using for a certain variable, and we will use the techniques that we have used before. احنا عندنا كثير فورمولاز، كثير صيغ، كثير قوانين للفيزياء والكيمياء والرياضيات والى اخره، فدائما نحتاج لحل لواحد من المعاملات الموجوده. مثلا عندنا الكتله على الحجم يساوي الكثافه، ممكن يقول لك حل اوجد الكثافه لوحدها او الكتله لوحدها او الحجم لوحده او السرعه لوحدها بقوانين نيوتن. فلازم نكون عارفين كيف الطريقه الرئيسيه، الكونسبت، المفهوم الرئيسي، كيف نطلع واحد من المتغيرات لوحده. So let's take an example. Solve each equation or formula for the variable indicated. We have to read the question carefully and we have to know what variable exactly we are looking for. The first question is 5f plus h equals to 6f. 6f here. And we are, sorry, 6 only. 6. And we are solving for f. We need f alone. We need this variable. So imagine that this is the only variable we have and others are constants or numbers. تخيل إنه هذا هو الفاريبل، كأنه عندك 5x أو 5f plus 5 equals to 6 or 15 equals to 6. What is the first thing you were doing? You were shifting the 15, or you were actually subtracting the 15 from both sides. This is exactly what you were doing. We will do the same thing here, considering the h as our non-variable side. So we will take this h to the other side, and it becomes 5f is equal to 6 minus h. Or others can write it 5f is equal to minus h plus 6. It's okay as well. Okay, let's write it properly. Okay, and then remember, after you were doing that, you were dividing both sides by 5. And exactly this is what we are going to do. We are dividing by 5 because 5 was multiplied by f. So we will reverse the operation to find f alone. So our f finally is 6 minus h over 5. Done. We have solved for f. Remember, if the question was solved for h, 5f plus h is equal to 6, the situation will be different. Then I will keep the h alone and I will take the f to the other side. So it will be 6 minus f, 6f, and I will stop here. 6 minus 5f and we'll stop here. That's also, you have to need to read carefully. Here. Solve for y. We need y. Simply, only we have y multiplied by 4 on one of the sides. Everything is isolated. Everything is kicked away. كل شيء بعيد عن الy. So, فقط we need to only divide by 4. نقسم على الأربعة. Both sides, الطرفين. So y is x minus 3 over 4 and done. Remember, if you are solving for x, then take the 3 to the other side to keep the x alone. So it will be 4y plus 3. The situation will be different and you will stop here. So your x is 4y plus 3. That's why I'm telling you to read carefully. Let's see here. We have another situation here. We have a here and there, and we are solving for a. If you are solving for a, then first combine all the a's together. جمع كل الa's together. So 7a, take the 16a there and reverse the sign. Now, I don't want B to be here, so I'll take it to the other side and I will reverse the sign. أعكس الإشارة، أخذها على الطرف الثاني، أخلي كل المتغيرات ال A اللي فيهم A مع بعض. كل الحدود اللي فيها A مع بعض. And 7A minus 16A is negative 9A is equal to B. And then we need A alone, as you all know. And I will divide both sides by negative 9. So finally, I have A is negative B over 9, or negative for the B, or negative at the middle, or it can be B over 9 is the negative one. All are equivalent to each other. You can choose anyone if you have multiple choice question. Okay, now we are also solving for G. So we will take this term, 9H. We need G again. G is multiplied by F, so I will divide both sides by F. So our G is 10J minus 9H over F. Now we will deal with fractions that you don't like. We want X alone, same. I'll take the Y there. So 5, 9, X is Z minus Y. Now, remember, you need to get rid of this. Remember in the equation when you have, for example, 5, 9, X is equal to 6, let's say. What we were doing is multiplying both sides by the reciprocal, right? We were doing that to get rid of the fraction. We will do the same thing here. But remember, you have an expression. So we will multiply both sides. So keep that expression between bracket. خليه بين قوسين لأن 9 over 5 مضروبة في كل المقدار. So this is cancelled totally, and we will have Z minus Y multiplied by 9 over 5. I'll keep it to the front. أخذتها بالقدام. بس this is equivalent to، يعني بس إذا كان في عندك اختيارات، هاي نفسها 9 times Z minus Y all over 5. نفس الشيء بالضبط. Yes. And we can have cases when 8 is in the denominator and you are asked to find A alone. So make sure, step 1, to get rid of the denominator because the whole expression is divided by 8. So you cannot move X now. You have first to get rid of the expression, the expression divided by 8, if they get rid of the 8. So we will multiply by the 8 before we move anything. Of course, you need to multiply both sides. So the 8 cancel the 8, and we have negative 3 times 8. 5AC minus X is negative 24. Now I'm free to move anything because it is now getting rid of any denominator. This goes there, so 5AC is X minus 24. Now remember, we need A again. So I want to get rid of the 5 and the C, and both are multiplied by A, so I will divide by both of them. And I will divide by 5C, the other side as well. So 5 cancels the 5, C cancels the C, and we are left with the A alone, which we are looking for. Easy? So remember, if the question was different, let's change a bit here. If it was 5AC over 8 minus X equals minus 3, then you will take the X there first. So it will be X minus 3, then multiply by 8 both sides. Situation is different to get rid of that one. And then you will continue. So it will be 5AC is 8 times X minus 3. And then you will divide by 5C here, by 5C there. So it is different situation. Be careful. The 8 now is the denominator of both 5AC and X. Both are divided by 8. Okay, let's go one more step. Now, sometimes you will have the variable in both sides. The variable that we are looking for is existing in the right and in the left-hand side. Now, look here carefully. We are solving for P. We are solving for P. You find here that P is to the right and to the left of the equation. ال P موجودة بالطرفين. What can I do in this case? So I will, as usual, combine all terms including the P on one side. أجمع كل الترمز، كل الحدود اللي فيها ال P أحطها بطرف واحد. So it will be 4P. And I will take this term there. So it's negative PQ. I don't need any other thing in this side. ما محتاجة ولا شيء، فأخذ هذا الترم وأوديه للجهة الثانية، فصارت 7r plus 15. Okay, perfect. Now, for those terms, we cannot add them because they are not like terms. But as you see here, there is a common p between them, both of them including the p. So let's remember what we were doing if it was different little bit. If it was, let's say, 4a minus, so 4p, let's use the p, minus 2p. What you were doing is just subtracting the 4 minus 2 and taking the p, leaving the p alone. So it will be 2p. So similarly, we can take the p as a common factor and subtract the coefficients, the numbers that are multiplied by those variables. Let's go back now to our question and do the same thing. So we will put the p down and we will drag the 4 and the minus q. The terms that are left equals to 7r plus 15. Remember, again, we need the p alone, so we need to divide both sides by 4 minus q here and there. So our p is 7r plus 15 over 4 minus q. And we are done. Let's see this question. We need a, as you see, a here and there. We will combine them and take the b. Remember, this was plus 11, so it goes there minus 11. Now let's subtract 18a minus a, 18 cars minus a car, so this is 1, so it is 17a, equal negative 11, negative 13, it is negative 24b, and we need a alone, so we will divide both sides by the 17. Cancelling. If you can simplify, go ahead. If not, just keep it as it is. So this is the solution for our problem. Here we need a. This is a here and there. Same thing. Taking the h. Now, as you see, this is a common a. I put it and I will drag the left terms equals minus h minus d, dividing both sides by x minus w, cancelling, we end up with minus h minus d over x minus w. And actually, you might not have the answer written in this way. Finally, we can simplify more. We can multiply numerator and denominator by negative 1. So this is w. We can multiply by negative 1. Why? Now, if you multiply the expression of negative 1, إذا ضربت في ناقص واحد كل إشارات تنعكس, everything will be reversed. So this will be h, and this plus d, and this will be minus x down, and this will be negative w. It was in down, now it is a positive w, which is equivalent to h plus d over w minus x. I will just put this before that to have a better looking. Now, for that section, a summary, when you want to solve for a variable, make sure that you are putting this variable and all terms including that variable on one side and any other thing to the other side. إذا عايز تحل لفاريبل معين، حط كل الترمز، كل الحدود اللي تحتوي على هذا المتغير في طرف وكل شيء آخر في طرف آخر. Thank you very much. شكرا جزيلا لكم ونلتقي في الجزء الثاني. We see you in part 2. Goodbye.